Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode in the House of Moody Vintage podcast. Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigos? How are everybody's doings? Just to quickly wrap up what I did last weekend. I had a lot of fun this weekend because I was celebrating one of my very close friends' their birthdays. She's in her, I think she's 31 years old now or something like that. I don't know, but she doesn't look 31. She still looks 21. So shout out to her, okay? Still very sexy, very stylish, you know. In fact, I think the older she got, she's looking real nice. So, but if you're watching this, Anita, like, mira, Anita, holler at her. If you see her, tell her I said hi and say happy birthday. Her birthday's already passed, but like that was like yesterday. But like, you know, it's like birthday week or some shit like that. Anyway, so we celebrated it last weekend. We had the Boozy brunch. Is that what you call it? I don't know. You white people, all these jueros, you know, they like to do all this stuff like Boozy brunch and shit. So I was like, I never did one, even though I know I grew up in like Santa Clarita. I know. Okay, from Canyon Country, I get it. I grew up in the suburbs, but don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Anyway, so we had the Boozy brunch, you know, like all of us looking all nice and shit. Like I was looking real good. Like I'll show you. No, actually, you guys already seen it. Like if you go on my Instagram, you will see how good I was looking. I was like, you know, like too hot. Like I was too hot to handle. Like that stupid show, you know, the reality show. Whatever, doesn't matter. So we had a great time. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. No, we had a great time. Sorry, just my inner Chicana came out. You better like. You better be obsessed with me. So great weekend. Great week. I'm still trying to get used to the whole, you know, I'm, you know, not working 12 hours a day anymore. So this is like a proper break, you know, as anyone and everyone should be able to have and enjoy. And I'm still trying to adopt that because, you know, throughout the year, that's all it is. I don't ask for days off. I don't, you know, sure, I've skipped a class or two, but, you know, that's mainly because of work, because I end up working anyway, you know, and sometimes just that shit just catches up to you, dude. You know, it just catches up to you, unfortunately. But fortunately, what I can say is that I have had so far a good streak of, you know, days off. Technically, I'm still working. Don't get me wrong, I'm still working. It's not the same workload, of course. So my mind and my body is sort of just used to working like a freaking machine. You know, like just constantly working like a machine. Like when that is sort of all of a sudden just turned off, it's like your mind is like saying, well, what's going on, buddy? You know, why are you just sitting idle and wasting away and watching freaking, you know, movies and TV shows and all this stuff, which I do on a regular basis anyway, when I get the chance to do it, but not as much, you know, not in an absolute stretch, right? Where it's like one episode after another, which I've been doing today. I actually just got around to, finally catching up to, the Apple TV Plus show Shantaram. I will get to that later, of course, on my thoughts on that. But yeah, so these things, like, you know, as you've already heard in my last, you know, couple of episodes where I'm just talking about like freaking reality. I'm watching reality TV shows, for fuck's sake. I'm not losing my mind. I'm just saying, you know, it's there and I'm watching it. It's kind of dumb, and I'm also neglecting, and I shouldn't. I'm neglecting my Xbox Series S, you know? My baby's just sitting there and it's calling out to me, and I will get to it. I will invest my time in that. That's an investment, okay? But I'll get to that. But what I'm trying to say is it's just difficult. I'll catch myself while I'm watching something, right? Or I'm just hanging out, chilling. And then immediately it's just like, man, should I be working? I should be working or something, you know? It's different from doing a podcast, because a podcast I'm actually really passionate about, you know, so it's not like a necessity, obviously. It's not like an obligation, obviously. Well, maybe it's an obligation to myself, you know, creatively. This is something that I want to do and I love, and so I do it. And so, I create, and but that's, again, this isn't paying my bills. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I'm still looking for that sort of, my mind is still in that, in that formula that I've had for the past, 2.5 years, almost 3 years. And still trying to get used to that. So again, even now, like even today when I'm having, time off, I'm still working. I'm kind of looking for, professional tasks to do, something that's not personal, something that's actually work related, and even when I'm doing that, I get stuck to the laptop and I'm trying to, sort of detach myself from that, like just pull myself away from that. Anyways, so I've tried, and it's still a struggle. I hate it, but also at the same time, there are moments throughout the day where I'm grateful and just appreciative over the fact that I don't need to do this right now. That I need to slow it down, go down to the second gear, you know what I mean? Stop fucking worrying about, that mode I was in, that beast mode I was in, was just working. And so that's very difficult for me to sort of adopt. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is, again, just shout out to two of my very, very, very close friends who literally were born days apart from each other. I mean, obviously years. There's a couple of years difference, but huge shout out to Natasha and Anita. And I love you girls so much. So yeah, just, did the whole boozy brunch thing. That's not me. I don't do that. I've never done a boozy brunch in my entire life. I shit you not. I'm not kidding you. That's not my style. I don't, you know what I mean? But since it wasn't my style, I needed to look good. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you saw how good I was looking. Like, your boy was looking fly as fuck. Because that's how I do it, Kind of annoyed Anita because, she was like, what the fuck? It's my birthday. What the fuck you doing? It's like showing up to your friend's wedding, she's wearing the white dress, but you kind of outdid her. I'm not saying that I did. I'm just saying, I had to look good because my, it's like, it's my it's family, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fam birthday, man. I love her to death. So, it's her birthday. I wanted to look good because it's her special day. So I wanted to look good for her. It wasn't a selfish thing. I was like, yo, it's a special occasion. It's her birthday, and I'm going to look fly for her. I'm not saying I was the best dressed in the room, maybe, and probably was. Anyways, not the point. But, I had to do, I had to look good, boy. And it's been a long time since I wore a suit. I'll tell you that right now. And it wasn't, like, the occasion didn't call for it, is what I'm saying, right? When it's a wedding, yeah, of course I look forward to, like, wearing a suit. I don't like the wedding part. I just like wearing the suit thing. And, years and years of that, of course, if you follow me long enough, I'm, always been very eager to be jumping into a suit and, going into some kind of event or occasion or whatever. But this time it wasn't. And, I haven't worn a suit in like literally years. I shit you not. So that day was an excuse, and I wore it, and it fucking felt good. Because I haven't worn it in a long time, and you know your boy. If you know your boy for a long time, he be suiting. He be suiting it up, and that's exactly what I did. And it was my friend's birthday, so did it for her, not me. I swear I did it for her. Anyways, talking about friends, right? I wanted to really discuss this. I didn't really know how to. It might get a little serious. I don't know. It might not get too serious. I don't want to get it too serious, but talking about friends, man. Listen. Now, recently, for y'all know, for some of you may know, not know, I don't know, but there is a social media celebrity, okay, known as Bad Baby. It's spelled Bobby, like Bad Bobby, the Cash Me Outside girl, So yeah, everybody knows the Cash Me Outside girl. Cash Me Outside, how about that? She is a multimillionaire now. Okay. So she got invited. Okay. She got invited to speak it was some kind of seminar kind of thing at, Oxford University, the famous Oxford in England. Okay. In England, Oxford. And there was naturally is controversial to have these people who are, these quote unquote influences. And some of my very, very good and close friends are quote unquote, I don't want to use the word influencer. I want to say personalities, okay? Personalities, public figures, okay? Influential public figures. And some of them, the one I personally know is an ambassador for UNICEF. So, they're doing good things, right? But anyways, my point being is that I have never been the one to knock someone's hustle. Okay. Now this girl, bad baby, Bobby. I forgot her real name. I forgot. She's Italian, I think, right? Bad baby's real name. Let me look that up real quick. Okay. Bad Bobby. Bad Bobby. Oxford. You look at this, just Bad Bobby. Oh wow, she's labeled as a American rapper. Okay. So her name's Danielle. Yeah, her name. So her name. So her name is Danielle Marie Bergoli, also known as Bad Bobby. Anyway, so let me just call her Danielle. Just sounds better than saying Bad Bobby. So this young lady, she also has an OnlyFans account. Okay, this girl has made over $50 million from OnlyFans. That is fucking impressive, right? And nowadays it is so, it's different. It's not, making millions is not traditional, especially when you're invested in and putting your effort into social media. And I mean, especially a girl who is, by the way, she's only 19 years old. She's 19 years old and she's made over 50 million. I think it was like 52 million or something like that, from OnlyFans. And Oxford felt like, yo, technically this is a business and it's a success story, right? So why not have her come in? And I totally understand that. I totally get that and totally understand that it is part of society now, the way we go on about things and how we share, how we create, how we sell, and this is just one way she's doing it. And this is the one way she's making a lot of money. So I have a friend who I'm obviously not going to name this person, but she disagreed with it. She had her gripes with the fact she was criticizing the reputation of Oxford. Why would you have, it's such a, highly reputable, this prestigious university. Why would you have a personality like this young lady, Danielle, Danielle Bergoli. Why? Right? And she was basically, I hate to use this term, but slut shaming in a way. Not in a way, it was a way. Because someone actually called her out on it. This, of course, she was expressing her opinions on social media. I read it and it made me cringe a little bit because I know this person, this friend of mine who I absolutely adore. She's an amazing person, fantastic. Just a wonderfully, just great. Anyways, my point is, for her to say what she said, I didn't agree with at all. If excuse me, got choked up there for a second. No, I really did, because it kind of, I'm a little lost for words, because this friend of mine is very, she's opinionated, and it's not a conversation I wanted with her at the time when I read it, because I don't think it was a time and place for it to do something like that. But I didn't agree with her in the sense that, okay, great, okay, fine. This girl, she's 19, she made $50+ million from OnlyFans, and OnlyFans is, not traditionally, it's not like you're on a platform, being creative in creating content. And there's also a misconception about OnlyFans. Like, it's not just, it's not just nudity or sexual acts. There are other content. It's not, I understand it's sort of labeled as this adult only kind of platform, but that's not the case. There's different content on it, but yes, there is adult content on it, and yes, there is a sort of barriers or gates or that blocks underage people to access and things like that. So obviously there's rules and regulations for that, but my thing is like, yeah, you do come off, and she was totally acceptant over the fact that someone obviously, if you're going to put something like that out on social media, on your stories, whatever, someone's going to they're going to comment, they're going to express their sort of their opinion, and they disagree with you. And this user on someone's whoever it was on Instagram account, whatever, had replied to her comment about saying that she was criticizing how Oxford is this and that, and this chick is she was basically saying that she was a prostitute, that she was not in these terms, but whoring herself or selling herself, selling sex and all this stuff. She's a prostitute and all this shit, which I was not. It's not about expecting certain things from certain people, but you would think someone who has a better understanding of the world, someone who isn't necessarily about the woke culture. The woke culture itself is very, canceling culture and all that shit is very controversial, and I don't agree with it. I don't like the whole canceling thing. I think it's bullshit. And at first I thought it was, maybe she's conveying the message in a different way, that maybe she should do it in a different way. But then she doubled down on it. And then I was just like, oh man, how do I wanted to write. I'm like, yo, this is not right. You shouldn't, like, do you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, this person is so hell bent on her opinion about how wrong this is of having this individual come to Oxford and speak to, an audience about that part of business. I understand that from an educational, from the intellectual perspective. I get that. It's like having Kim Kardashian come in and talking about, or, Kylie Jenner or whoever it is, to come in and talk about their business, because they are fucking multimillionaires and billionaires. They're doing something right. That money isn't just coming out of fucking thin air. They're actually tapping into an audience, a target market that is willing to give up their hard-earned money to them, to buy their products, their merchandise, or whatever it is, service, whatever it is, streaming, and whatever it is, right? They're willing to do that. So why the fuck not? It's working. They're multi-billionaires. Oh, some of them are multi-millionaires, right? So why wouldn't you want to get into sort of that mindset? Why wouldn't you have these individuals come in, forget their personalities for a bit, forget what they've, certain things, lifestyle choices that you may not agree with. That's fine. That's totally understandable. Everyone has, their choices that they've made, and everyone will agree or disagree on how you go on about life and things like that. I totally understand that, as it should be. We can't dictate what other people do. We have our own choices, we have our own actions, and there's consequences towards those actions, and we have to, attend to them, or just rectify them if there's a mistake, right? So why wouldn't you? I totally understand that from the business perspective. Why you would have someone like her, someone like Bad Baby, to come in and talk about her career. I get it, but to say that she's a prostitute and she's doing this, doing that, she's selling sex and all this, on OnlyFans and $52 million. And I mean, yeah, it does come off bitter, very bitter. And it's very unfortunate, because I didn't want to hear this from my friend, because you would think someone who is a woman, who knows how hard it is for a woman. And I get her gripes. I totally understand her criticism, like, there are people out there who pay a lot of money, whether it's it's law, it's medicine, the traditional career choices. They pay a lot of money to go through that, to a reputable institution and try to get a degree and trying to find a job and then pay off loans and all that stuff. I get that. I understand that struggle. I 100% understand that struggle. But to shit on someone else's perceived success, that's wrong. That's not right. And basically slut shaming her coming from a woman, that's not cool. And I hope that there comes a day where I get to sit down and actually talk to her about this, when the time and place is right. Because right now, when it's fresh, I don't think an individual with that type of strong opinion and strong stance is going to want to sit down and have a dialogue, which is sad because that's what you're supposed to do, right? I mean, that's what world leaders should be doing, is having dialogue. But a lot of that is, it's political. Everyone has their own agenda, things like that. And I'm not trying to change my friend's perspective or other people's perspective about, and you may have your own opinions about why she's, why Oxford is inviting someone like her, someone like Bad Bobby, to talk to, to a class or whatever it was. And, yeah, man, it just bothered me. I don't want to hear that, especially, when it's one woman talking about another woman. Whatever she's doing, however she's doing it, she's made money. And yes, it does come off bitter. And yes, it does come off envious. Like, you're envious of this person because you may be dealing with your own struggles. And it could be where you are in life right now, what stage of your life you are in right now, that you may have that kind of, cloudy judgment or cloudy, unfair. I think, there were unfair statements to be made, or that were made. And I didn't think it was cool. And, I may not have agree with certain celebrities and their lifestyles and all that stuff, but I will never knock someone's hustle. Hell no. This girl made 50 plus mil. I would never knock her hustle. This is a 19-year-old chick, bro. 19. She, when she was born? 2003. Okay? Let me say it again. 2003. I was graduating high school in 2003. I was 18 years old. Okay? Can you imagine? It's crazy. So, but more power to her. Whether it's on OnlyFans, whether it's, touring, stage performances, whatever, rapping and blah, 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 what have you. She's doing something about it. She's fucking doing something about it. Right? So my thing is, if you're so not happy with your own position right now, then do something about it. It's going to be a struggle for sure. But if you really are that unhappy with your own situation, then get the fuck out. Then go and do your thing. And I think honestly, it's just projecting all of this, with a lot of things that may not be going too swell or too smooth in someone's life, and then they'll just project it, which is unfortunate, but it could be just out of anger, it just could be out of anger. And I don't think they fully understand, appreciate the situation that they're in compared to other people. And it just blew up, man. And my friend's very opinionated. I get that, and there are certain things I agree with her, certain things not so much, just like this. I really want to sit down and talk to her one day about it. But, when she's sort of maybe not in that defensive mode or attack mode, because you can't really have a proper conversation with someone like that. Anyways, I can go on about this for a while. I don't want to drag this on. It's just very upsetting, I don't want to hear that coming from a friend of mine, especially someone who is accomplished, who is a woman, who is accomplished, who is otherwise a very funny, very cool individual to hang out with anyway. But there's a lot of hurt there. I'm pretty sure that's where it's coming from. Obviously, it's nothing personal against Bad Bobby. Bad Bobby. Wow, Bobby. Oh, Bad Bobby. How are you? You know the rapper Bad Bobby. Yes, Bad Bobby is from. She was talking about Cash Me Outside. How are that? Sorry, I didn't want to make people's ears bleed with that accent. So bad baby, Miss Danielle. I don't think she has anything personal against her. Obviously, how could you? You don't know this person personally, obviously. But yeah, I think it's just out of anger. I think it's just out of, but that doesn't make it right. Of course, it's not excusable. I don't think you should be making those type of statements. And if you put it out there, on, on social media, people are gonna fucking bite back. Obviously, you know what you're doing. You're expressing your grievances, out on social media, and people are gonna bite on it. They're gonna nibble on it. And the other individual who was replying to her, I actually think he or she, or whoever the person was, acted quite well. I think she, again, he or she, or whatever the pronoun, that person held his or her own, or they, or he, she, he, her, him. That person held its own and did it in a very civil way. There was no insults or, bitterness in the words. And I say that because, this is also something that my friend shared to win voters, which I thought also this was not a very good move. This is a very bad move. Don't do this, and she, man, it's just, don't put it on social media, people. Fuck, man. Just talk to your friends about it, man. Talk to your friends about it. Keep that shit closed, bro. Like, anything I share on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, it's usually just entertainment. It's just pure entertainment. I could make a stupid funny joke, or share like a stand-up clip or something like that. It's just entertainment. It's just to make people laugh, maybe think, but I never share anything that's like, that could be controversial, or that is something so personal where I talk about that I don't talk about, with my friends. I will keep that shit close to the chest, or I'll talk about it with my close friends, and it'll never be out in public. I think it's just a dumb idea. It's just not a good idea to do that. You have every right to, of course, but that doesn't make it right. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make it correct. May not have the most desirable outcomes. I just wish he didn't say that. I totally disagree with that. However a person makes their money, that's you, man. That's your struggle. That's your hustle. Just as long as it's not blood money, that's a different situation. We ain't gonna go into that. You know what they say, billionaires, they ain't all clean. They done some, dirty things. That's just a rumor. I don't know. We're just saying that general statement. There's no proof. Come on. Well, some of them have gotten away with it. But yeah, with that said, I just wanted to, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I really do want to talk to her about that. Hopefully she's changed her mind. I don't know. Sometimes it's like, you got to pick your battles. This probably is not one of them. Anyway, so let's move on. All right, let's get on to something more. Talking about corruption. And I'm not talking about that new documentary that's coming out on Netflix about FIFA. Can't wait for that. Doc exposing FIFA and Sepp Blatter's fucking corruption. Goddamn FIFA. The World Cup, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of weeks away. Yeah, I know, weird, right? Late November, World Cup, first ever in the history of the goddamn game. And Sepp Blatter, of course, came forward recently talking about how it was a mistake giving Qatar the hosting gig. They have their human rights political controversy there. So I'm not really. I don't like the fact that it's happening in Qatar. I don't like the fact that it's happening in fucking November. Like, people, a lot of athletes, a lot of footballers have gotten injured. World-class athletes have gotten themselves hurt, man. And because of the pack schedule in October and things like that, and you really think they're gonna be fucking 100% at the World Cup? Absolutely not. But teams who usually who don't have a lot of competitions to go through, like for example, English players who have to deal with 4 competitions throughout the entire year to make it to the starting 11 for their national squad. A lot of European countries, of course, they're gonna be fucking, they're gonna be knackered. They're gonna be knackered, mate. And they might just pick up another injury there. It's unfortunate and it sucks. And I don't know. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird watching it, because you're technically supporting it if you watch it, right? But there's so many people who busted their asses off, blood, sweat, and tears, and Qatar to put this together too. People who probably their only choice to work for, the hosting thing. You can't really blame them. It's the decision leaders and all that stuff. It's gonna get too political. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just it's weird. It's gonna be a very strange thing to watch, in freaking November, the World Cup. Anyways, what one thing that you can watch that isn't strange is, of course, Shantaram on Apple TV Plus. Like the little transition there, a little segue. Just a brief, again, no spoilers here, because it's just started. It's just season 1, and I'm currently on episode 5. I think it's up to episode 9 so far, so like 3 more are left. I think it's coming out on a weekly basis, which I absolutely love. It's the old school way of releasing these episodes, these series, and just to keep you excited, on a weekly basis. It stars Charlie Hunnam. We all know Charlie Hunnam. Well, when I say we, I think most of us know who Charlie Hunnam is. Of course, from the Sons of Anarchy fame. Okay, we all know Mr. Hunnam from the Sons of Anarchy. That's where he got his fame from, this lad. This lad from Newcastle. He's from the Tyne. He's from the Tyne. So he listen. I love that he took this project, Shantaram, because he plays his character as Lynn Ford, who I think he's a Kiwi, right? I think he's a Kiwi and Australian. I forgot if he's an Australian or Kiwi. I know he had a fake passport. He had a fake New Zealand passport before he went to India. But he's got the whole accent down and everything, and I love that he chose this, or the fact that he was. I know he had to work for it, not given the project, but he's on this project because I really, from the Sons of Anarchy, who of course we know him as Jackson Teller, excuse me, on AMC, he was also in Pacific Rim, right? He was in Pacific Rim. What else? Pacific Rim. Oh, The Gentleman, of course. The Gentleman. I loved him in that as well, and of course Guy Ritchie's King Arthur. So he's we know him, we know of him, and of course he's I think he's quite famous. Maybe not like blockbuster movie kind of guy, but he's really good at fucking TV, man. And he proves it again here. And I think one of the reasons why I love him on the show is because he gets to show his versatility. I personally think that Charlie Hunnam is a very versatile actor. He never really had the opportunity to pull that off, I guess, or to showcase that. And I think he's doing it here. I think he was really good in The Gentleman, King Arthur. But of course, those are more English type of characters. Of course, he's English, so here he plays as a not a convict, but a fugitive. He gets away. Again, if I don't know if my mind is, if I can remember correctly, if it's New Zealand or Australia. He's an Australian character. Yes, he plays Lindsay as an Australian character. Sentenced to a long, harsh prison term after life spirals out of control, he escapes and makes his way to Bombay, and befriends a local there and everything. And then of course he gets, trouble ensues. Of course, trouble follows him anywhere he goes. So he's a fugitive. He wants to get away with that. He wants to sort of, change his life, and do things the right way. And, but of course he can't he can't get caught, because he's a fugitive. So he's in India. He's stuck there in Bombay, and sort of gets caught up in the underbelly types of things, and a lot of seedy kind of characters. And I think this is also based on the book, of course, the best-selling book. And so basically, Lynn Ford is this guy who goes to Bombay, and he has to, sort of assimilate and get into the whole environment, get just. And, he just, one thing after another, he just stumbles into trouble, and, it's even more deep shit, right? So, but at the heart, he's a good man. He's a good man. He's trying to do good things. He just, on his way to doing a good deed is just, it's maybe not the cleanest way to do it, and just gets into trouble with a lot of crazy Bombay 1980s wild shit, man. So I do recommend it. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm loving it so far. Huge crush on Antonia Desplat. She plays Carla on the show. You'll see why. Fucking amazing. I'm talking about it's not Nora Fatehi crush, but she close. Okay, Antonia Desplat. Fantastic. Okay. And there's a lot of familiar faces in this, of course. Great casting. So, huge shout out to the showrunners of Shantaram. And I hope there's a sequel, bro. I just feel like this can go maybe for 3-4 seasons. 4 seasons at the most. It would be amazing. But it's Apple TV Plus, quality as usual. So that's my recommendation of the week. Let's check that out. And today's Wednesday, right? Guess what's up on Netflix? We're going to see what happens next on Love is Blind, season 3. Looking forward to that. I'll talk about that next week, I guess. Anyways, that'll wrap it up here for me here in the Moody Vintage podcast. Thank you again for listening, and thank you for following and on Spotify and Apple Podcast Plus. And, of course, if you aren't subscribed to YouTube, please do. And watch me be dumb on YouTube, on the videos. And thanks for the great responses on the clips, man. I'm getting a lot of views on the Instagram clips, and I just hope they turn out to be, you guys click on it and you want to watch it or actually listen to that entire podcast and then listen to me babble. Anyways, that's going to do from here. Until next week, please take care of yourselves. And of course, as usual, treat yourselves. I got to follow my own goddamn advice in the coming weeks. I love y'all. Thanks so much. Until then, I'm out of here. Peace.